Hey guys, Charisity here with another review. This time I'll be doing the S.H.Figuarts Lucario. So this is Township Nation's 5th figure based on a Pokemon character, but the first to be part of the S.H.Figuarts line after dissolving their previous D-Arts line. This is also the first figure to be based on Pokemon that's not from Generation 1, as the past 4 entries were Mewtwo, Charizard, Blastoise, and Lucario. This time, the figure they've made is of Pokemon number 448, Lucario, the Aura Pokemon. So this includes several things: the figure itself, two interchangeable parts, an effect part, a Township stage, and 2 stage arms. So let's start by taking a look at the figure itself. So taking a look at Lucario, we can see that it's cast in its signature colors of blue, light yellow, and grey, with white paint apps for the various spikes sticking out of it, and white, orange, and black for the eyes. Taking a look at the head, we can see that it is well sculpted, with its canine nose and ears, as well as the markings that make it look like it's wearing a mask or a bandana. And the 2 sets of aura feelers on the back of its head are individually molded pieces that are that have articulation. Taking a look at the body, we can see some detail for the collar, the bands on its shoulders. You can see the arms, the torso, and once again pointing out the 3 spikes on its body. We have its paws, and then we see the waist, which is mostly grey with this little tuft of fur here. We have its hips, which do look like it's wearing a pair of shorts. Its curved tail back here. And then its legs, which are jig-grayed like a dog would have, with some pads on the back of its legs, as well as paw pads on the undersides of its feet. Articulation wise, starting with the head, got a ball jointed head and neck. As I said previously, the aura feelers are on their own ball joints, so they can go back and forth as well as swivel around. Going to the shoulders, they can be rotated up and down. You can actually move forward and back, and these shoulder cuffs move with them, and can be rotated 360 degrees. Have a bicep swivel right here, elbow joint right there, and then its paws can be moved up and down. Got an ab crunch here, moves quite well. A little bit of a waist joint. Again, it's also ball jointed. Got hips, which are like some previous Figuarts, on a stalk that can extend down to add some extra posability. So they can go forward and backwards in and out. A ball joint in here, so you can move the legs around. Then a double knee that can go forward and back. Angle joint that can swivel and pivot. And then the toes work on a similar joint to the hands. So overall, a high amount of articulation. Taking a look at the other parts. The 2 interchangeable parts he has are 2 alternate sets of eyes. One being eyes that are looking over to the left, and a pair of closed eyes. Now the way these work is, the first thing to do is pop off the head, then carefully pop off the aura feelers. Just like so. Next you want to take the back of his head and separate that from the front. Then you slide out the current eyepiece, then pop in the new one, just using this hole, and then you can place back on this piece, and then pop the overfillers back into place. Just get a look at what the alternate pairs of eyes look like. Here are the glancing eyes. And then here are the closed eyes. As you can see, they fit seamlessly in there and don't break any illusion. Again, just pop this back on. Make sure all the gaps are closed up. And pop these back into place. And with how small this ball joint is, you definitely want to be careful to make sure that this doesn't break. Then just pop the head right back on. Which is a little bit tough. But manageable. And at least on mine, these can pop off a little bit easily, but they fit right back in. As for the accessory part, it's an aura sphere piece, Lucario's signature move. So taking a look at it, it's a clear blue ball with these rings of energy going out from it. They're nicely molded, having these little crinkles to kind of look like they're waves of energy, as well as these little spikes along the edges. Though it is a little bit odd, as I don't recall any point where the Aura Sphere attack was depicted in this fashion. But it still looks nice. As for the Tamagotchi stage, it's a large circular Tamagotchi stage with a Pokeball design drawn on it. And this is the same stage that has come with all the other Pokemon releases. It also includes 2 stage arms, these being shorter than your usual ones. Both being the same, but they also comes with 1 gripping claw part. And this is actually rather necessary, as because of the way his feet aren't completely flat, Lucario has a bit of a tough time standing on its own. Now so far I've used his tail as a brace, but if you lift up the tail, you'll find that you can't really balance him, and he basically falls over because of how his heels are rounded. And so for this reason, it's convenient to use the Tamagotchi stage. Basically plugging this in, and just getting it to a proper position, then clamping it around Lucario's waist. And thankfully Lucario has a very narrow waist, so it's pretty easy to clamp it there. Of course you can also adjust it for a better standing pose. A bit like that. Then for the Aura Sphere part, you just find it's got a little hole here that can peg in to one of the 2 stage arms, just like so. Then you can take the stand and pop up one of these 3 pegs, or rather one of these 3 caps. Just pushing them down and out. Then popping in the order sphere part. And then just getting him standing. We can kind of create a pose. By maneuvering its arms near the aura sphere. And basically I'm just going to kind of create a bit of a rough pose, simply because I don't want to take too long posing the figure. I guess something a bit like that will do. And you can move it to the other ports if you want to get the aura sphere a little bit closer to the body. But overall, this is a great figure. As a lot of you probably know, Lucario is my favorite Pokemon, so I was ecstatic when I found out that they were going to be making an S.H.Figuarts version of this Pokemon, and it turned out really great. It has incredible detail, amazing amount of articulation, and it doesn't come with too much, but it does come with a nice effect part. And the way you interchange the eyes is actually very well done, in my opinion, as it's easy to do, and then you're not really breaking the illusion, you're basically just interchanging the inner part of the head. And it can pull off a lot of poses quite well, even though it is slightly flawed in how, because of its design, it can't stand up very well without balancing on its tail or using the Tamagotchi stage. And one thing I will say is that I feel like the Tamagotchi stage itself is a little bit oversized, just because it's a lot bigger than your typical Tamagotchi stage, so it does take up a lot of space. But besides that, this is a great figure. It seems to be a little bit on the pricey side in terms of SHFs, but if you can find it for cheap, around $35 to $40, then I would definitely recommend picking it up, as this is really a great figure for Pokemon fans, for fans of this Pokemon in particular. And, just as a great figure in general. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.